Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Secrets of a Witch podcast with me, Sabrina Scott. Hello. I hope you guys are doing great. This podcast is all about witchcraft, magic, divination, tarot, life, the universe, love, healing, spirituality, and all of the things that are in between those things. Just life. And why I don't just talk about spirituality and magic and tarot on this show is because what good is your spirituality if you are a miserable or shitty person? It's a big question. I think a lot of people in the witchy space are too afraid to ask. And if witchcraft and magic can't complement and help us in our self-improvement, growth, and healing journeys, then I don't really see what most of us are doing here. And I have seen so many folks in witchy land just be a bit not nice, shall we say, a bit dysfunctional, shall we say. And so that is why I spend so much time talking about these psychological topics, healing, abuse, checking yourself before you wreck yourself, self-worth. Because let's be honest, people with solid self-worth and self-respect and who are leading fulfilling, interesting lives are not behaving in psychotic ways. Let's just get that out of the way. So before I get to today's topic, I wanted to remind you guys that for the month of May, if you grab my Magic Without Bullshit course, you will get some free stuff. So depending on whether you purchase in full, like just buy the thing and get done with it, or you choose a payment plan, the length of your tarot reading kind of changes. So if you pay in full, you'll get a 60-minute tarot reading for free. If you do a payment plan, you'll get a 30-minute one by the end of the time your payment plan is done. And if you do purchase the course in full, you will also get a workshop or masterclass of your choice completely free. And if you grab the payment plan, you will get my Claim Your Magic affirmation series completely free. So what is the course? You guys might be wondering. It is a everything you need to know 101, 201, 301 course on witchcraft and magic, how to do it well, why to do it, common pitfalls, how to figure out what you believe, why you believe it, how to chat with different spiritual beings in a meaningful way. It really is everything you need to know about developing a spiritual practice that actually feels like you. I think one mistake a lot of folks make is trying to imitate the spiritual practice of somebody else. And that usually doesn't last that long, right? It usually falls flat because if we're copying someone else's practice word for word, usually that person's practice is based on them. And since we are not them, it's not going to feel as motivating or as grounding as it would for them. And so we each have this unique blueprint within us for our own spiritual practice. And part of my motivation behind my Magic Without Bullshit course is to help y'all figure that out, help you guys connect with that, and help you guys design your own unique witchcraft practice that meets all of your needs and is in alignment with where you're at spiritually and what you actually believe. But in order to do that, you have to actually know, what do you believe and why, and how does energy work? How do I do it? What do I do? How do I feel it? What does it mean? All of that stuff is in the course. We start with cosmology and energy work and then move on from there to ritual, different types of ritual, different ways of working with energy and more. And of course, there is a candle magic intensive in there that I really, really love. The course is 24 plus hours of video content, which you'll get instant access to, and 100 plus pages of worksheets. It is a magic course designed by a university professor, ex-university professor, aka me. And I've been practicing magic for 25 years, which sounds absolutely bonkers. Time flies. I feel like every time I have to say that, the number increases. And I'm like, where does the time go? I truly don't know. So check it out, sabrinamscott.com. And if you are interested in getting some coaching for some accountability and to be able to ask me questions about the content and just get support as you work through it, if you do grab Magic Without Bullshit this month in May 2025, or if you already have it from, maybe you just purchased it from a previous time, that's all good. as long as you have Magic Without Bullshit, please send me a DM or an email or whatever if you're interested in grabbing coaching that goes along with that. So my special deal for y'all for May is if you get Magic Without Bullshit or if you have Magic Without Bullshit, if you grab a coaching package by the end of this month, you get 2 free sessions. So my coaching packages are usually 5 sessions, but if you grab the package this month, I will add on 2 completely on me. So there's a little motivation to finally go deeper than you have previously. So you can check that out, sabrinamscott.com. Click courses in the top navigation, then click magic, and then Magic Without Bullshit should be at the top there. So check it out. If you got any questions, please be in touch. I'm happy to chat with you and see if you think it's a good fit for you. It pretty much will be. I can guarantee the feedback I've gotten from pretty much everyone who's taken it is that it's a really life-changing experience. So just want to throw that out there for anyone who is ready to move past surface level magic and who is ready to move away from free content and actually going deep into, okay, how does all this shit work and how can I make it work for me? Really important. Okay, so today's topic is why you should be a heretic. And I know this might sound a bit counterintuitive, but whatever, just come with me for this journey. And this episode is inspired by being a little bit bored of a lot of the conversations that I've been seeing in witchy land and just in so many different communities that I've been in the past, how the discourse just seems to be very same, and a lot of folks are afraid to rock the boat or afraid to say anything unique or interesting. Sometimes it's due to fear of cancellation. Sometimes it's due to the fear of just being rejected by the group, or people think you're weird, or people disagree with you, or people think you're wrong or stupid or whatever. And in this episode, I want to talk about why leaning into your uniqueness, even if it is different than everyone else, is really important, and why it's okay if people think you are a heretic. So first of all, let's talk about what do I mean by that word heretic. I think everyone probably knows what it means, but a heretic is usually someone who people think is blasphemous, or they're saying something that really goes against the norms or the established beliefs or behaviors within a group. And obviously this has some origins in talking about heretics in a religious sense. I remember when I took, this was so long ago, a history of witchcraft class at the University of Toronto. This was probably like 15 years ago now. I audited a course, which means I just attended for free because the professor thought I was nice. Because I was such a nerd and I was so interested, but I wasn't going to U of T, but I really wanted to learn what the professor had to say. And it was a super interesting course. And so I learned about heretics from that kind of context, right? The old Christian church would think that anyone who would do A, B, or C would be a heretic. Their beliefs and their way of being was not in alignment with what the Christian norms of that time were. And even though I would say North America is largely secular, this idea of the heretic, it lives on. Right? And I would say it's stronger than it's been in a long time. Over the past decade or so, it's really disturbed me how there's this rise of thinking that certain things just cannot be said. There's this wrong think where if you deviate in any small way from what the current party line of the day happens to be, you are excommunicated, you are a heretic, you are evil, you are bad, you are this, you are that. If you just dare to have your own opinion, have a bit of a nuanced opinion, be unique, do something that no one else is doing, think something that no one else is thinking, etc., you basically have become a heretic, and depending on the context in which you exist, you will likely be excommunicated or whatever. And obviously that word excommunication has religious context as well, but we see this happening in a secular environment as well, which is fascinating and I think also very deeply troubling. But that is for another day, because that leans into questions about democracy and what is going on in the West. There's a lot we can say about that, but I'll leave that on the shelf for now. I think so many people are afraid to be labeled as heretical, as heretics. And in my work with people, Over the last years, I've done a lot of work, especially coaching work with folks, one-on-one, mentorship. I've done tarot readings. I've done all these different ways of working with people in their self-growth and personal transformation journeys. And one of the things that I see most commonly is around authenticity and confidence. And so many people are so afraid to be their authentic self, and they are afraid to be their authentic self because, for the most part, people are afraid of the pushback. They're afraid of loss. They're afraid of losing friends, family, partners. They're afraid that everything they've built will crumble to smithereens. And I don't sugarcoat it to people. It very well might crumble to smithereens. That might happen. When we build our life based on a lie, even if it's a well-meaning or unintentional lie, sometimes we need to pull the rug out from under us and see where the cards fall or where the chips fall or whatever the expression is. And then we can rebuild, aka the tower vibes, like in the tarot card 16. And so when we embrace this idea of being a heretic, it's very similar to how I started off my podcast this year, which was talking about embracing the villain era. How you do not need to be the hero in everyone's story. You don't even need to be the good guy in everyone's story. It's okay to be the villain in people's story, because their lens might not be, that good of a lens. You never know. And ultimately, we have to live with ourselves. But my point here with this heretic talk is that we need to be the judge of our own behavior and of our own ideology and of our own sense of right and wrong. And when we are unafraid to be called a heretic by other people, it means we are more able to lean into authenticity, and we're also more able to lean into something really important to me, which is called integrity. If we are so afraid of what other people think, we are less likely to be authentic, and we are less likely to be operating from a space of true authenticity and honesty with ourselves about who we are, and also honesty with others about who we are. So when we embrace this idea of being a heretic, we unlock the ability to be more authentic and to make better choices that are more aligned with who we truly are inside. It's really important. And I think this is true in all areas of life. And I hear from so many folks that they're afraid to publicly talk about their magic practice or their witchcraft practice or their interest in astrology or tarot or any of this spiritual stuff. And a lot of folks are afraid, like, oh my God, my family is going to think I'm a devil worshiper. Or they're going to think I'm crazy, or they're going to think I'm this or that. And there is freedom in deciding that, you know what, that sounds like a them problem, and I'm just going to be who I am. They can accept me or not. In this world, we all have the ability to make choices about who we spend our time with. And I know that it can feel like the world is ending if everyone and everything we ever knew is crumbling around us when we decide to live out loud and be who we are unapologetically. Yeah, we might be called a heretic. I definitely have been. And I don't regret any of that. It's enabled me to live a very drama-free life because I am who I am, and people can either take it or leave it, and that's fine. And of course, there's some stuff that's obviously beyond the pale. Like, I'm not talking about some of that obvious stuff that's like, I think we can all agree is like obviously terrible. But I more mean in the realm of spirituality, of living life, of healing, of just going against the grain of what a lot of people think. There are a lot of things that are taken for granted in the world right now, and a lot of opinions that it's expected that people have, and if you don't have that opinion, then you're evil. And I just think that is a really wacky way to think, and I think it closes a lot of people off from meeting themselves. It closes a lot of people off from discovering who they really are and expressing who that person is. What a beautiful thing to be able to know who you are. And then to be able to have the courage to share that with others. It's a courageous act. Because, I'm going to be honest, we might be met with loss. But that only paves the way for people who like us for our authentic self. And it's a scary thing. Like, I've encountered this even myself as a business owner and as a human. As you guys know, my politics have lost me a lot of things, and it's also gained a lot of things for me, right? I am at peace because I know I have not compromised my values. I have not shut my own mouth and created a blockage in my throat chakra and made myself sick with some kind of throat illness because I refuse to say my truth. No. I used to do that. But when we stop blocking up and clogging up ourselves with all of this holding back and fear, we unlock flow. We unlock spiritual flow. We unlock mental and emotional and physical freedom. And there is power in being a heretic, a truth teller. Heretics are often ahead of their time. And yeah, we might experience some loss, but that's true with any type of authenticity. There are people who might not accept us for our true self, and that's always going to be how it is. No matter who you are, no matter how you are, how you behave, there's going to be people who like you or don't like you. And I would always be rather disliked for who I am than liked for who I am not. Can't please everyone. So you might as well please yourself by being exactly who you are. Life is too short. Life is too short to be someone other than who you are. Life is too short to be afraid of being judged for who we actually are. But first and foremost, we have to stop judging ourselves. That's the most important thing to begin with. So if I'm going to leave you guys with some homework today, it would be to step away from self-judgment. It's not doing you any favors. Can you move towards accepting all parts of you? And if there are parts of you that you don't like, can you commit to healing that? Can you commit to fixing those things about yourself? And can you commit to giving yourself grace as you're on your journey to become the truest version of you? All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Happy Monday. I think it's a new moon today, is it not? Happy new moon. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm not going to tell you guys what fun new moon thing to do. You guys can figure it out. If you don't know how, take my course. or actually read my book, Magic for Real Life. Curse and Cure is what it's called. You can grab it on Amazon, and the link to that, of course, also on my website. Just click sabrinamscott.com and then click books. It will be there somewhere in the drop down. All right, y'all, that's it for now. Much love and cheers to being a heretic in our villain era in the year of the snake 2025. Much love. Bye.